cold out here. It's only 39 degrees outside. Well, today's project is that tree right there. See it? We had a tree service company come out this morning and drop that tree for us. And you're probably thinking, well, why is it still sitting there like that? Well, we just want them to drop it. It's cheaper that way. Clean up, we can do it ourselves. Don't mind doing a little bit of, manual labor and having to clean that up ourselves and cut those dead branches off the tree. And then we'll go ahead and cut them into rounds, and then we'll go ahead and split it and stick it into the greenhouse. And we're using our greenhouse as a woodshed this year. Next year will be a different story because we have at least 8 more trees to drop, and that's going to be a lot of wood, and that would fill my greenhouse and then some. So for this year, we're going to continue using the greenhouse as a woodshed, but next year we'll have to build a woodshed for all this wood. So let's get started of cleaning up all this mess before Jared gets home, because when he gets home, he's gonna go ahead and start taking care of that tree. All right, now, so I just have to wait for Jared to get home from work, and he will go ahead and trim those dead branches off of there, cut these up in rounds, and then we'll go ahead and start chopping and stacking. It's a pretty big tree. That's a lot of wood. Plus what we've got right over here as well. So next weekend we're going to the dump. We're taking that trailer and we're hauling off all that junk. Remember when I was going through and doing my fall cleaning? Well, I did the fall cleaning inside. He did it outside, and that's a lot of stuff to get rid of. So that's the next thing we gotta do. Burn pile there, and then a burn pile back there. We're just gonna tarp it, wait for the snow to start falling, pull the tarp off, light those babies on fire, get rid of all that. Be done. So now it's off to split some more wood. It's starting to warm up. I think it's because I'm moving around a bunch. Oh, that sun feels good. all the wood that was already split is now stacked in here in the greenhouse. That big tree that we just dropped this morning, there is no way that that is gonna all fit in here. You know, garden supply stuff in here. And I'm not gonna take all that out to find a spot for it. So I'll fit what we can in here once that happens, where we get that cut up and split up. And we're just gonna have to find another spot for all that wood. And I'm not really worried so much about kindling because I actually go foraging and find things that will burn really easily, and I'll use that as kindling instead of like chopping up chunks and make it into kindling. So we're gonna show you what I do with that. All right, got a little sap on my shirt. All right, so that pile right there, I'm gonna use some of that to make some of my kindling fire starters. So gonna take some of that and let's go into the woods. There's a lot of dry stuff in there, easy to burn. You got dried pine cones. Look at all this. This is all dried. That's gonna be so easy to burn. So we're gonna take this guy and take the branches off of it, and we're gonna use this as fire starters. All right, I found a few, and then I got that big one down there I'm gonna use. It's really great because it saves from me having to split wood into kindling. These are great fire starters. Look how dry that is. Those are super dry. And plus with those twigs and maybe some pine cones, things are gonna light up really fast. Super dry. Oh, so dry that they keep snapping on me. All right, so we're gonna take this back to the house and I'll show you what I'm gonna do to make my own fire starters. All right, I got plenty of the dry twigs from that dead tree over there. Plus these guys, these were just laying right out there in the forest on the ground. So with the two, we're gonna go ahead and make my fire starters. Don't need pine cones. This will work just fine. All right, oops, just tuck that in there. They're breaking off so easily because they're so dry. Yeah, so I'll make quite a few of these. I actually had a few left over that I made last year. So these are gonna be super great. Yeah. And I'm just using a little twine just to tie them off so they stay together. This is just part of my winter prep work, splitting and stacking wood and making fire starters. All we have to do now is I got to get my husband to clean up the wood stove, the piping, before we start our first fire of the season. If you guys enjoyed watching today's video, give me a big thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to the channel. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.